Toyota has brought about an automotive evolution that is destabilizing the entire electric vehicle industry. And let's just say that EVs might never be the same with this engine. According to Toyota's CEO, Toyota has made an engine that will destroy the entire EV industry. We are talking about an engine that is completely different from the current EV engines. But does this mean we are about to see one of the greatest shifts in the automotive landscape? Let's find out. Before we can take a look at what Toyota's CEO revealed, let's first go back and understand where they have come from. When it comes to the fast-paced world of automobiles, Toyota is making one of the boldest claims, and it has the entire electric vehicle industry buzzing with pure anticipation. To understand what we are talking about, imagine a groundbreaking engine that leaves even the most dedicated car enthusiasts on YouTube completely speechless and electrified. This new engine is a true game-changer. Not so long ago, Toyota announced the development of a new hydrogen combustion engine. However, this is not like any other hydrogen combustion engine. Unlike other car manufacturers that have gone all electric, Toyota has decided to take a completely new path. They have come up with an entirely new technology that we have never seen before. Just as the name says, the hydrogen combustion engine makes use of hydrogen as its main fuel source. Unlike other engines that emit carbon dioxide as a byproduct, this one emits water from its exhaust pipe. This is Toyota's approach to minimizing the carbon footprint around the world. But let's get deeper into the engine. As we have already seen, Toyota has taken a completely different route to reducing its carbon footprint around the world. Instead of following the trend of electric vehicles, they have decided to go with a hydrogen combustion engine. Hydrogen is one of the most abundant elements in the universe. In addition to that, it has the highest specific energy density of any non-nuclear power source. When it is used as a fuel, it is purely exhaust-free and non-toxic, given that even its byproducts are just water. Given its composition, it can be created using many sources, stored indefinitely, and even shipped easily. You may not know this, but millions of tons of hydrogen are produced and used without incident every year. It is already in use as a power source in some buildings, electric cars, forklifts, ships, and even trains. Yes, not everything you see runs on gasoline. The Toyota hydrogen combustion engine makes use of a fuel cell which converts hydrogen into electricity. Take, for example, the Toyota Corolla Cross H2 concept car. It comes with a 1.6-liter turbocharged, 3-cylinder engine that runs purely on hydrogen. But how did Toyota make this a reality? Well, let's just say that this was the point Toyota started revolutionizing the entire EV industry. With these new engines, the entire EV industry was about to change, and it would never be the same again. Keep watching to find out how they do it. Toyota uses thick, armored fuel tanks to store the highly flammable hydrogen fuel. This idea was picked up from their FCEV, the Mirai. However, it doesn't have to be too large. The Corolla Cross H2 concept car only uses just 5 kilograms of hydrogen, and this is enough to give it a range of about 300 miles. And what about its byproduct? It only produces 50 liters of water. And last we checked, water is not that bad for the environment, unlike carbon dioxide. To make this concept even better, Toyota has partnered up with Yamaha Motor to create a V8 engine that is powered by nothing but hydrogen. This engine is actually quite powerful, producing about 455 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Just to make it stand out, they also added an 8-to-1 top-mounted exhaust manifold, which creates a pretty unique high-frequency sound. When you compare the Toyota hydrogen combustion engine with other electric vehicles, the hydrogen engine has a lot of advantages. The main advantage is that it has a larger range, and refueling is as fast as a drag race. By achieving this, it reduces the need for limited supply materials such as lithium and nickel, all of which are critical to the manufacturing of EV batteries. Even though this car uses a battery to store some power, it is not as large as an EV battery. As of the last quarter of 2023, the Corolla Cross H2 concept car was undergoing some real-world evaluation and winter road condition testing in northern Japan. And so far, there have been very positive reviews about it. Generally, Toyota's new hydrogen combustion engine is a true game-changer when it comes to the automotive industry. It has got to be one of the most environmentally friendly engines, producing only water as a byproduct. In addition to that, it also has a longer range, faster refueling times, and reduces the need for limited supply materials. We are yet to find out how the real-world testing goes, but it won't be long before we start seeing these cars on the road. If the hydrogen-powered engine were to become successful, the Japanese government plans to have about 200,000 fuel cell-powered vehicles on the road by 2025, which is in 1 year. To add to this, they plan to add all this up to 800,000 by 2030. To support this, it goes without saying that they have to build more refueling stations across the country. We have already seen that the hydrogen combustion engine is unlike any other. But what about the pros and cons of this engine? Well, let's start with the pros. The first one, which is also the most obvious one, is that it is a very eco-friendly engine. Given that it uses hydrogen as its source of fuel, it doesn't have harmful byproducts, just as we have said. Furthermore, hydrogen is a clean fuel on its own compared to traditional gasoline engines. The second advantage is that this engine has a very effective cooling system. The innovative water cooling system addresses one of the major challenges of an engine, which is the high temperatures. This system, which comes with hydrogen combustion engines, potentially enhances engine performance and longevity. This means that things like overheating problems would become very rare if the engine were to be used in the real world. And, as we all know, that is something that would really save a lot of drivers. The third most common advantage is that this engine uses completely familiar technology. Since the engine mainly operates on a system similar to traditional engines, it is easier to integrate this engine into other automotive design and manufacturing processes. This is a great advantage for Toyota because they can just modify some of their other cars to integrate this engine. This engine has clearly made some strong points when it comes to its advantages. However, nothing is without its disadvantages. And the very first disadvantage is the production and infrastructure of hydrogen. We have already seen that the engine is more than eco-friendly. However, what many people don't know is that this is completely dependent on how the hydrogen is produced. At the moment, even though there is widespread production of hydrogen, it is not always sustainable. Therefore, if these cars are meant to be produced in large quantities, then the automaker has to figure out how to deal with this issue first. As much as hydrogen is there, even in lower quantities, there is still a problem with the hydrogen fueling infrastructure. Given that hydrogen cars are not as common, there are very few hydrogen fueling stations compared to gasoline and electric charging stations. The other problem that comes with hydrogen combustion engines is their complexity and cost. As much as it uses a similar architecture to other engines, it has a dual water injection system. When you combine this with the need for precise control by the ECU, the entire system becomes a bit complex. An increase in complexity automatically adds to the manufacturing costs for the automaker. On the other hand, it also becomes costly for the owner to maintain this car, mainly because the parts are not as common. Let's say that Toyota was to achieve large-scale production of this engine. They would still have to deal with the issue of market readiness. As of now, the production-ready version of this design is still in development and testing. Even if it were to be passed as ready for the market, the automaker would definitely need more time before the car would be commercially available. By making this hydrogen combustion engine, Toyota has demonstrated its commitment to exploring multiple solutions for sustainable transportation. And in addition to the electric and hybrid engines they have come up with, the automaker has come up with a different solution. This hydrogen combustion engine represents the automaker's interest in diversifying its sustainable vehicle options. Now, we have been talking about the combustion engine from time to time, saying how good it is and how it will destroy the entire EV industry. But how different is it from the traditional internal combustion engine? What are the technical aspects of this engine that make it stand out even more? To answer these questions, we will focus on one of Toyota's standout achievements in this field, which is the 1.6-litre, 3-cylinder turbo engine. For those of you wondering why we are looking at this specific one, it is because it is one of Toyota's most successful hydrogen engines. It is currently being used in the Corolla Cross hydrogen prototype, and it is performing wonders. This engine perfectly blends traditional design with pioneering technology, and it is good at it. However, it is completely different from a conventional internal combustion engine. You see, the 1.6-litre, 3-cylinder turbo engine is just marvelous when it comes to the world of engineering. Toyota based this engine on the same platform as the engine found in the GR Yaris. And as we all know, the GR Yaris is known for its performance and agility. However, for the engine to support hydrogen as a fuel, Toyota had to make several modifications. After these modifications, a lot of people had a lot of questions about it. However, one question that everyone was asking was, how did Toyota manage to maintain the engine's performance while switching to a completely different fuel source? The secret lies in the hydrogen combustion process. Compared to gasoline, hydrogen requires completely different handling and combustion techniques. And with that in mind, the engine uses a high-pressure hydrogen direct injection system. This is a significant departure from traditional fuel injection systems. With this system, the engine can control the delivery of hydrogen into the combustion chamber. This greatly optimizes performance and efficiency. But even with this, how is the engine's overall performance impacted? You would be surprised at how this hydrogen engine performs. The 1.6-litre engine can produce enough power and torque to compete with its gasoline counterparts. This is mostly thanks to the turbocharger, which plays a massive role in ensuring that the engine delivers the necessary boost to make it high performance. However, there have been concerns about whether turbocharging is actually the way to handle the unique properties of hydrogen. The main reason for this concern is that, compared to gasoline, hydrogen has a relatively lower density. Because of this, the engine would require a larger volume of hydrogen to achieve the same energy output as gasoline would. Toyota's engineers have not overlooked this, taking the challenge head-on. They have ensured that the turbocharger and other parts of the engine are properly optimized to handle the unique properties of hydrogen fuel. One of the things that makes this engine even better is its efficiency. It turns out that the efficiency of hydrogen combustion engines is way higher compared to that of traditional engines. This effect is felt more during high-load situations. As a result, it greatly affects the fuel economy and has an environmental impact. With the increase in efficiency, it means that the engine has a better fuel economy. And most importantly, it means that there is a significant reduction in emissions. After all, the only byproduct of the entire combustion process is water vapor. This technically means that it has near-zero emissions. And just as we saw earlier, this makes it one of the most environmentally friendly options out there. Achieving near-zero emissions from the hydrogen engine is important for Toyota, mainly because it is in line with the carbon neutrality campaign that they are on. As Toyota moves towards a future of carbon neutrality, the automaker has employed more than one strategy to achieve this. And instead of a one-dimensional approach, the automaker has opted for a rather diverse application of hydrogen and electric technologies. Given their technology, the automaker can gladly accomplish this with a one-dimensional approach. But why go for a multifaceted approach in its quest for carbon neutrality? To understand this, let's start with Toyota's commitment to hydrogen technology. But you might be wondering, why go for hydrogen? The answer lies in its potential as a clean energy source. When hydrogen is used in fuel cells or internal combustion engines, it only produces water vapor. This means that it is the most environmentally friendly alternative to fossil fuels. However, Toyota's investment in hydrogen technology is not just for passenger vehicles. Toyota has actually used this technology in commercial vehicles and even public transportation solutions. But is hydrogen technology alone enough to achieve carbon neutrality? Let's just say that Toyota has looked into this because, by recognizing the limitation of using a single technology, Toyota has also embraced electric vehicle technology. One of the main components of Toyota's strategy to achieve this is the development of battery electric vehicles. However, they have used a rather different approach to this than other automotive manufacturers, especially those focusing entirely on EVs. Toyota's diversified strategy keeps in mind that there are some challenges to the widespread adoption of EVs.